All right, welcome back. Quick look on what the dailies are holding for you this Monday morning, and perhaps I start you off with a copy of the Daily Nation and begin from the back page where matters education have taken center stage. On this particular daily, this is even as teachers are happy to see end of transfer policy. This was mentioned yesterday by the president, and just citing that this actually, this teachers thanking this administration for abolishing this delocalization policy that has been there for some time now. This is a matter that also was put forth for the parliamentarians there who are also against this delocalization of teachers, particularly when it comes to those areas, the hardship areas or areas where there was rife insecurity. So the Teachers Association, as well as the various bodies, the Head Teachers Association, that is KEPSHA, also have allowed this particular move by the administration. This also citing various reasons, particularly also just saying that delocalization wasn't really a bad idea, but when it happens to an individual, for instance, an individual teacher agreeing after consultations that they are willing to go to some of these areas, but the mass delocalization that used to happen is what they're really against. And so again, just really being happy based on what was announced yesterday. Also, this coming at a time where they'll be holding that KEPSHA conference, which is set to begin today in Mombasa, and also part of what is said to come out in deliberation is the recruitment of 30,000 teachers, which again this administration promised that by January of next year they will ensure this actually takes place. So they are set to deliberate on the modalities of this recruitment of 30,000 teachers. This is even as they welcome the move to domicile grade 7, 8 and 9 in primary schools, that is the junior secondary school. However, going by this particular article, there's still mixed reactions, I should say, particularly amongst parents as well as students who had psychologically prepared themselves to move to secondary schools for the JSS. You can remember the previous administrations had given a recommendation to have this set be domiciled in secondary school, and you can also remember that some structures had already been put or constructed in some of these secondary schools. So it still remains to understand if at all there's enough classrooms for this grade 7, 8 and 9. So this is also part of what is set to feature in that conference, even as they discuss the matter. Coming to the front page, deadly voyage. This is in the issue of safety of our Kenyan girls in Saudi Arabia. 400s of young women leaving Kenya for the Middle East in search of domestic work every month. Chances that they will give up the promise of a better life are slim. This is despite tales of horror and death at the hands of cruel employers. So then, the Ramo question is, will the promise by the Labour CS Florence Bore to prioritize Saudi Arabia in safety interventions bring the madness to an end? This is a story that has been tucked away from page 2 all the way to 4, just highlighting the tales of young girls in Kenya and also spanning across the East African region who go to Saudi Arabia, and how there's only very few of them who make it back home. And of course, even as media, we have covered quite a number of stories in respect to this, and so eyes are focused on the CS Labour to see how this matter is going to be solved and dealt with. Again, Raila, my war with Ruto, one of those things, or not even one, those things that will really be informing this demonstration or meetings, as some would call them, on the 7th and 12th, going by what has been well highlighted here: high cost of living, lack of ethnic balance in appointment of state jobs, and plan to import genetically modified maize are among the reasons for Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leader Raila Odinga's displeasure with President Ruto in his Kenya Kwanza administration. So much as we're talking about these meetings, again, the Jubilee Party and KANU Party have also become non-committal, or not expressed interest at all in this particular meetings. And so also the question that is being put forth by a good number of political pundits is that then is this really a test for Azimio in respect to this two parties at the end of the day? And also again, key among those questions or issue being put forth is again the question of the IEBC. For those are the 4 commissioners who, again, their fate still lies with the tribunal that was already constituted. So largely, this is also what informs those demonstrations that will be taking place on Wednesday, as well as the 12th of this month. Again, also quite a lot has been proffered here. Still in the same articles in respect to some of those issues that Azimio are decrying, again talking about the appointment of state jobs, where they have cited lack of ethnic as well as regional balance. Of course, just citing what went down when it came to the appointment of principal secretaries. Steph.